Oh, hello. Check, check. Sound check. Oh, good. I do have sound this time. Oh, but where the heck is my power cord? 1 second. Um, Very cute. Did you get braids too? Oh, yeah. I couldn't see. Very cute. All right. I'm back. Of course, I set my power cord down in the living room. So I had sound already, but not my cord, and it told me that my battery was low. So get that under control. There's always so much to it. You guys, how are you doing? Where is a cord? There's a cord. Okay, there we go. Lights, camera, action. And I think my sound is okay. I think that my let's see, get this light turned down a little bit. I don't want it. What are you doing? Light there. Maybe I can slide it back, slide it over. See, I pulled on it when I was getting the stupid plug. It is like dominoes. Can't touch nothing. Okay, stop it. Anna Bees, how are you, my dear? I'm just complaining about my cords. They're so annoying. Okay, let's see how that does. I have so many cords. I have so many things plugged in. Is my brain plugged in? You can't even see my necklaces. See, that's what really sucks about this contraption in front of me, is it blocks the necklaces. I'll have to start wearing chokers or just not even worrying about it. Imagine that. I don't like that my handle is still wrong. I don't like that either. I am so sorry. I don't know if you've tried it in other chats, if it's my channel only that's like that. It's bizarre. It's super bizarre. How can we fix it? So lovely to see you, my dear. Thank you for being here. It's 8:31. It is Friday night, November 21st. It's a week before Black Friday. When I was young, I used to always have my Christmas shopping done before Black Friday. That was like late for me. Like I would kind of do it all year long, but especially over the summertime, just so it was spread out, because a teenager, so that it was easier to afford that way to get the gifts that I wanted to get for people. But then as I became a mother, I wait till the last minute. And this year, I think I'm just going to do cash, Who doesn't like cash? I have been in other chats. And in the other chats, you have your regular handle. I am so sorry. What? WTF? So can you guys see Coco? Coco's over there in the corner. You can kind of see Coco a little bit. And then what's this over here? You don't need to see that. And if I tweak it, then everything will fall down, right? No, nothing's falling down yet. Okay. No, I have. Oh, no, you haven't been in other chats. Okay, phew. How did I misread that? Thank you for catching me. So I do have my thumb back from the room next door. I also have my little subscribe, turn on your notification bell to ring, share a video of mine with somebody that you think might like my channel. As you can tell, I'm kind of having a moment, just getting rolling. We're already 5 minutes in and I haven't even started. So let's just get started. Yesterday, I think I did my disclaimer twice. So rather than transport the second one from yesterday into today's, I'll go ahead and run through it real quick. Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All my videos are made for YouTube and it's an infotainment platform, and my door's open. Which is fine when I'm home alone. It's not been shutting though lately. You know, it will like shut, but then it'll push open. It doesn't stay latched. So it's fine if I'm home alone, but when I have other people home, not fine. Or the dogs when they push it open and come in. But the big thing I wanted to come on for, Annabise, what was it? Can you remind me? Just kidding. I felt like I hit another one of those gems. And I honestly am having trouble remembering what it was. I'm going to have to look because I put notes in my notebook and I also put notes in my phone. So and I made a couple shorts today from my video last night. Let me see if I can play one for you. So the thing that I found last night was that, I'll just read it to you. It's talking about Halligan, Linsay Halligan, and it's talking about her career. And it says, at the University of Miami, Halligan interned for the Innocence Project and the Miami-Dade County Public Defender's Office. She worked for Deco Models, a Miami modeling agency, in 2012. Which could support my theory, my humble conspiracy theory, allegedly, that she might have been a mini Gillian. How do they say her name? I just called her Jiz. She doesn't deserve a name. Anyway, she competed in Miss Colorado pageant in 2009 and 2010. So again, they do the pageants at the very end of the year for the following year. So if she competed in 2009 and 10, that would have been for the titles probably of 2010 and 2011. And it was the one in 2009 that was for 2010 that her and Erica were third and fourth runner-up. So there they were on the stage together after having gone to school together for 2 years. So they're less than a year apart. Erica's birthday was yesterday. Happy belated birthday, Snake Eyes. And then Linsay Halligan's birthday is like in July, I think. So Erica is roughly 8 months older than her. But they both graduated high school in 2007. And then Halligan might have sped through her bachelor's degree because it said that she graduated with her bachelor's degree in 2011. And I know I'm like splicing hairs, but 2011. No, I guess that's right. Okay. I am splicing hairs. I need to stop with the math. Let me see what you're saying here. Stop me, Anna, help. So, yeah. But then they're trying to say that she met Trump on the golf course when she was wearing a suit. And he was like, hey, what are you doing wearing a suit? And she said, well, I'm an attorney. This was allegedly 4 years ago. And he said, oh, come work for me. That's not true, in my opinion. He already knew her from the beauty pageant thing. just like he already knew Erica from the beauty pageant thing. And allegedly, the beauty pageants are rigged. You don't win based on merit. You win based on the casting couch, allegedly. My brain isn't working well today. Is it something in the air? Just getting into fall mode. I mean, it is kind of the most stressful time of year. I know from when I worked in the psychiatric hospitals, November and March are the most stressful times of year for people. And my theory is that a lot of it revolves around school and just kind of getting your bearings, like after summer break or after Christmas break, you get into your routine and then you get into the grind. So November and March are major stress times. Not to mention that we have the holidays straight ahead, staring us down like the barrel of a gun. And then the other really busy time in the psychiatric hospital is January. And I will never forget what my supervisor told me, because I've been using it ever since. She calls it the holiday fallout. Because I was like, oh, well, if it's stress for the holidays, I would think it would be more like around December. She was like, no, everybody holds it together. They put up with way too much with their families, biting their tongue, and just basically they lose their shit after it's all over because they push themselves too hard. So let's all try not to do that, right? It starts next week with the Thanksgiving. Oh man, 1 hour of sleep. That sucks, Anna Bees. That's the worst. I saw one. Pageants and modeling, the one thing they have in common. Right. So I was talking in my video, I think the day before yesterday, about Adam Mockler saying like, oh, I know Linsay Halligan is a model or something. My point in critiquing him on that is that I think it's really important for people to know that not so much she was in pageants, it's like, who cares, but just that could open a whole vat of information about maybe having prior contact with the pageant owner. And again, to get into some of the nitty-gritty detail, because I do like to try to be specific, I don't think Mr. Piggy owns the state pageants. He owns like the Miss USA, the Miss Universe. And so, you know, I don't even know if he visits the state pageants, but if you win a state pageant, then you're going to see him at the national one. So, or the international one, both or either. You know, he only sold it, I think, when he became president. But I just think it's important to look at the connection with Halligan and Erica. I mean, just like I think it's really important to look at the connection with Gavin Newsom and Mr. Piggy, because Gavin Newsom's ex-wife, Kimberly Guilfoyle, was not only engaged to Don Jr. for 5 years, she also allegedly had an affair with Don Jr.'s dad. And then Don Jr.'s dad sent her to the island of misfit toys, or Greece. She's like the ambassador of Greece, which it sounds fancy. If I didn't know any better, I'd think, oh, well, that sounds like a plum of a job, but it's more like a stupid job, allegedly. So basically she's out of the way because, you know, she knows a lot about the family. So, you know, all of this pissing contest with Mr. Piggy and Gavin Newsom has a lot more to do with their long histories with each other, in my opinion. And all of these people, we come to find out that they have very long histories together, like with family. Mr. Piggy knew Erica Kirk's mommy and daddy, and he also knew Charlie Kirk's father, at least. he had hired him in the 80s to be an architect for him. So I love doing my channel so much, and I really appreciate anybody who is watching, whether it's on the replay crew or live. I need to put it on the live chat because it was on Top Chat. And at the same time, I feel like there's so much to watch on YouTube. It's almost impossible to carve the time out on a day like today to make a video, because I'll never catch up with all this stuff I want to watch. And a lot of it is like mind numbing and crushing and overwhelming. And that's when I just watch all the funny stuff, because I'm just like, I can't. And I know a lot of people in the political true crime, or more in the political YouTube, do that. I mean, in true crime, not so much really, right? It's sort of like, it's true crime. It's too soon to make light of things. And I mean, you don't ever want to make light of certain things. But right now, you know, the main things are basically are Mr. Piggy. I just have to call him that this week. He earned it. His mind is melting. He's got, I think, severe advanced dementia. I'm curious what you think, Anna B, since you're an actual nurse. I mean, I'm an actual licensed mental health professional. You can't really diagnose people that you're not in their company. And it's, you know, just to take it with a grain of salt and just to kind of use it as like a guideline. But, you know, we know that he's a narcissist, the worst kind of narcissist, like a malignant, flagrant, sociopathic narcissist. Not that there's any good kind of narcissist, right? I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he has Neuralinks helping him function. But man, he is not functioning well. So right before I came on, it was a Jim Acosta, who is an MSNBC graduate. I think he got fired or something. A lot of the good ones are getting fired these days for speaking truth. He has his own YouTube channel and he's phenomenal. And MSNBC is no longer MSNBC. It's now MS Now. So that's interesting. I wonder what they're doing with that, with the rebranding. But who was the person that he had on? I wanted to make sure that I wrote down her name, and I'll put a link in the description. I know sometimes I go nuts with too many links in the description. Juliet Jessley. So what she does is she takes all of Trump's speeches, all of the things that he says, that a lot of us, I think, want to pay attention to what he's saying so that we can kind of keep an eye on him, you know where the danger is, know where it's headed. And yet listening to his voice is god awful. Looking at his face is god awful. There's ways around it, but she's figured out a very unique way around it that's gone viral that I had not heard of. But she transcribes every single word in the things that he says, and then she speaks it in her voice. And I don't know if she like shows the words or how she does it, because I haven't checked out her channel yet, but I will. She was just on Jim Acosta's channel, or no, it wasn't Jim Acosta. I think it was Ari Melbourne. They're both brilliant, and I get them confused. They look a lot alike. They're about the same age. They're both brilliant, very low key. I love them both. Anyway, I don't like when I get myself all confused. Let me try to stay up with what you're saying, Anna Bees. And I have really good lemon zinger iced tea with a little bit of honey in it. It's perfect. It could use a little bit more honey, but I try to be healthy. That doesn't mean she really has her bachelor's. McMahon, the head of the Department of Education, said she had a degree in education, and she doesn't. Well, I think that it specifies in some of the things that I've read about her that she completed her degree. But I think you have to have a bachelor's before you can go to law school, don't you? And then you get a law degree. I don't think you can get a law degree without a bachelor's degree. I could be incorrect about that. But then she went to law school in Miami, and then that's where she worked for a modeling agency. And I just think it's really significant that it doesn't say that she modeled. It says she worked for a modeling agency. So that makes me think that she may well have been doing the Ghislaine type of deal. So yeah, let me see. There was that thing that I was reading off of that I had sent you earlier, Anna. That she's Linsay Robin Michelle Halligan, born in 1989, and wait a second. Oh, this is just talking about her life from 1989 to 2013, because I'm like, why does it say 89 to 2013? So this is just a screenshot. And I think, yeah, this is just Wikipedia. She was born on July 21st, 1989 in Portland, Maine. She's the daughter of audiologists. Her sister, Gavin, that's a cool name for a girl. Gavin is a family law attorney who unsuccessfully ran as a Republican in the 2016 election for the Colorado House of Representatives, 4th District. Halligan was raised in Broomfield, Colorado. Every time I see Broomfield, Colorado, I pause, because that's where Barry Morphew went right after he took his wife's life, Suzanne Morphew. Apparently. Broomfield, Colorado is also where Shanann Watts worked at a children's hospital in Broomfield, Colorado, right around the corner from the Holiday Inn Express. Or was it a Holiday Inn Express or a Hilton Express? One of those. In Bloomfield, Colorado. I've looked at them on a map, like they're right next to each other, the children's hospital, and where Barry Morphew destroyed a lot of the evidence. You know, he's on videotape surveillance, covered in evidence, carrying evidence. So anyway, that's kind of a sidetrack. It just breaks my heart every time I see Broomfield, Colorado, because both those cases. She attended Holy Family High School, where she played softball and basketball. She graduated from Regis University with the bachelor's degree in politics and broadcast journalism, and from the University of Miami School of Law with a Juris Doctor in 2013. At the University of Miami, which is not where I went to school. I went to Miami University, which is in Ohio. At the University of Miami, Halligan interned for the Innocence Project in the Miami-Dade County Public Defender's Office. She worked for Deco Models, a Miami modeling agency, in 2012. She competed in the Miss Colorado USA pageant in 2009 and 2010, reaching the semifinals and earning third runner-up. So that's that. And Christina Talk said that McMahon doesn't have a degree in education. Yeah, my sister really likes that Christina Talks. She just, no offense, because, you know, there's so many great content creators, and I think she's a great content creator. She just is not my style so much. Like, I don't watch her very much at all. But I'm glad she does what she does, and I'm glad that other people like her. So, U.S. troops accidentally invaded Mexico. They put up signs on the beach saying that it was part of the U.S., and trespassing was a violation that could be punishable by unaliving. It's all just smoke and mirrors as far as I'm concerned. I think that Mr. Piggy is in a complete tailspin of a panic, doing anything he can to get people to talk about anything but those damn Trumpstein files. And I love the way people are saying lately that, you know, that Einstein is in the Trumpster files, not that the Trumpster fire is in the Einstein files. But I just call them the Trumpstein files. I didn't make that up. I got that from someone else, I think. And I just think it's perfect. I might have made it up, but I don't think I did. It's so hard to remember this news cycle. Stuff is just like smacking us in the face, just like between the eyes. It's like a 2x4, right? So Patton Oswalt is an old comedian who I love dearly, and he is killing it. He is really funny. He is, again, I think he was on Ari Melbourne's show, but it might have been Jim Acosta. And I think I put the link in the description. It was an MSN Now thing. It was just like a 10-minute thing, but totally worth every second of it. The man is hilarious. But, you know, the flipping out when Mr. Piggy flips his shit, which he's been doing pretty much daily right now, to me, that's evidence of something. That makes me stop and ask, well, what is it that I'm not seeing? Or what is it that I am seeing? And what is it that I'm not seeing? So, for instance, when he would flip out when anybody would mention Charlie Kirk, and, you know, he's like, everybody that doesn't say he's the greatest thing since sliced bread should get fired from their jobs, right? It's like, okay, a little hypersensitivity there. I mean, I'm convinced that Charlie's assassination was, how shall I say, conspired by our government. I am convinced, not just our government, but other governments as well. And I think it's really sick and twisted. But again, naming streets after him and buildings and giving him his own like holiday, to me, those are all indicators that something's up with that. I mean, even just like flying his remains on Air Force Two with the vice president and his wife. It's like Charlie Kirk was not part of our government, but how many people from our government were at his 9-hour memorial service? So how much taxpayer dollars do you think was spent on that effing memorial service, and for people's transportation there, and for their fancy hotels, their fancy dinners, all of it? Like, these people are just crooks. Oh my gosh, Jazz, how do you remember all this stuff? I love you, Annabise. I feel like I'm not remembering half of what I'm trying to say right now. But I too am impressed that I can remember a damn thing, because, you know, life as a mother of 4 is like psychological jujitsu. Did I say that right? Psychological jujitsu. Or I'll say it better, mental gymnastics. That's what my sister calls it, mental gymnastics. And it's just like, yeah. I always said motherhood is not for the faint of heart, right? And I've got my yoga block right here. It's just kind of hanging out. I'm like using it as a thing to lean on, but then it fell down and made a noise. So I felt like I should tell you what it was. That is true. You're right about them trying to do anything to make people not talk about the files. What do you think, Annabise, about, sorry, I bit my tongue, about that thing I said yesterday or the day before? I think it was the day before, about Mr. Piggy choosing the word piggy makes me think he's got this Lord of the Flies mentality, because famously, Piggy is used in that story. And it's really not common other than with Miss Piggy. I mean, I don't know why he didn't just call her a fat bitch, personally, right? Or you effing pig. But Piggy is just so specific. So it makes me think, maybe he's been on like the classical reading list, like trying to like catch up with things that he didn't do in school, like Lord of the Flies and Great Gatsby. Next, he'll be referencing The Catcher in the Rye. Well, he already has JD as his sidekick there, like JD Salinger. What else? Main Street, The Lottery. Lady Chatterley's Lover. Dorian Gray. That wasn't really a high school classic. I read that in college, but that's a good one. Anyway, I'm 4 years older than you and I can't remember anything. Oh, well, you also are working full time and with the night shifts. That is hard on your brain. I know that's really hard on your brain. It's one thing to stay up late, which a lot of times I do because my husband's on that night shift too. So I kind of have a nocturnal schedule sometimes, but it's entirely a different thing to actually have to function at a professional level and make life and death decisions in the middle of the night when, we're not nocturnal. It's very hard on our systems to stay up all night. It does a number on us, even if we're used to it, which you probably are. I mean, my husband's used to it. He's been doing it forever, but I can see how it's taken a toll on him. That's interesting. I think you could be right. Christina Talk said that Little T's mommy probably called him a little piggy. That's funny. Probably more likely his dad, because I don't think his mom even talked to him. I don't think it was just him. I think his mom was like pretty much absent. Like she had, I think, a lot of medical complications and she just didn't interact with anybody too much. And then his father was extremely abusive. But yeah, I've heard people say that too, that it's like it's an old time thing. But that brings to mind, like, just, he is such an old timer. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're all getting up there in age. None of us are getting any younger. But it's important to stay in tune with the times, especially if you're going to be like leading a nation, our great nation. But, when he says things like grocery, it's an old-fashioned word. Affordability, like he literally thinks he invented that word recently. And it's like, okay, it's obviously not going to be a part of his vocabulary because he was born a billionaire and he's been a billionaire his whole life, whether he's been a broke billionaire or bankrupt billionaire or whatever, not a normal life. So he doesn't understand the term affordability, but he also has probably forgotten it. That was probably the same with groceries. It's like, these are words that he doesn't use routinely. People that he hangs out with don't use them routinely. I mean, it's not like he's going to be chatting with anybody who runs to the grocery store or who's concerned about any kind of affordability. But he keeps bringing that affordability word into his conversations and literally has said things like, oh, you've probably never heard this word or something, or here's a word nobody ever thinks about. What was another one that he said recently? Deductions. He was like, deductions, like normal people don't know that word. They've never heard that word. They don't know what a deduction is. That's just like a high-end business people thing. Like, we get deductions because we're rich. And it's like, well, I ran my own business from a very young age, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows a freaking deduction and everybody has a freaking deduction. I mean, every time you drop off stuff at the Goodwill, you can get a receipt that says on it, you can use this for a deduction on your taxes. But he brought that word up in one of his biggest problems is that he never stops talking. So of course he's going to be talking like a nut. But one of my biggest problems, I feel like, is that he's constantly got the cameras trained on him like no other president we've ever had. He doesn't give a flying F about having downtime or privacy. And then Caroline Leavitt wants to call it transparency. It's like, no, it's called being an attention whore, bitch. There's nothing about him that's transparent. He's an attention whore. He requires our attention at all times. And a lot of people are too busy and too smart to give it to him. And I try to be conservative, but I get caught up in it. I got that Trump derangement syndrome, and it's killing me. My brain is just like in a vice grip. And today is just one of those days because it's like, how is this guy still our president? How do you shake hands with and practically neck with MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, anyway, MBS. How do you do that and at the same time make posts threatening Democrats' lives? And I want to not forget to cover that the victims of Little E that have spoken again out publicly this week, and they've been making the rounds on the television or YouTube talk show things. They get a lot of threats on their lives, and they specifically are getting a lot of threats on their lives this week. But we need to keep in mind that for people that are victimized like that, even by people that aren't rich and powerful, they know that they're under constant threat, whether the person has directly threatened them or covertly threatened them. They know that they're under threat, and that if they say or do the wrong thing, that they can get injured, let's just say. And it's so disgusting. Like, how do we have this? Like, he's not even like Tony Soprano. I mean, he's just like a freaking flunky, scum of the earth Tony Soprano wannabe. How on earth do people still fall for his shit? And how on earth has the powers that be in our government, how have they not gotten him to step down? I think that there's demonstrations going on this weekend in Washington, D.C., and that some of the people in Congress and some of the activists in our nation are trying to do exactly that. I wish I could go. But again, we all know that there's a threat with that too, if we show up at these things like the No Kings rallies. Let's see, I'm used to it, but yes, working 12-hour night shifts is hard on your body. And yeah, that's what my husband does too. You guys have the same, like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. It is nuts, and mind. So yeah, he has like a 2-week schedule so that, he has a Kelly day and built into it. But to me, that's even worse because I like a routine, and there's no routine unless you count it a fortnightly routine. It's like, I like a daily routine. I like a weekly routine. I need that. And mine. Yes, he has dementia. He is insane. If Biden did that, people would be coming unglued. I know that MTG is a major biatch, but I kind of feel sorry for her. I know she's just an enigma. Talk about enigma. And that was funny when people around Mr. Piggy tried to defend him about the birthday card. saying like, he doesn't know that word. That's a really big word. He would never use that word, enigma. And of course, everybody started pulling down speeches and things where he used that word enigma. And he used it appropriately too. He knows that word. Anyway, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a total enigma. So is Nancy Grace and who's the other one? Lauren Boebert. I mean, these women are pretty wackadoodle, and I don't like saying that, especially about women, because us chicks get that a lot, right? The whole like hysterical thing. But they've kind of made names for themselves by being outlandish, especially Marjorie Taylor Greene with her bleach blonde hair, her bleach blonde bad body, that whole thing that Jasmine Crockett did. That was hilarious. Butch body. Bleach blonde, butch body, bitch. We should see what that is, the Jasmine Crockett rant. But yeah, I mean, she's made a career for herself by being like a cartoon, and a racist cartoon at that. So I think she's still racist. She just is trying to be more polite, and she's she's definitely got the right idea with some things. I mean, I'll give her credit for that. If she's growing and changing, then good for her. I support that. Jasmine Crockett's bad butch blonde bleach body thing for Marjorie Taylor Greene. See what AI says. Does AI have it memorized? I bet it does. Bleach, blonde, bad built butch body. I thought there was more to it. But man, she was like thinking on her feet. She came up with that real quick. It was hilarious. And I've heard her talk about it. She said that the bad built was something that her mom used to say when she was trying to insult somebody. Pretty cute. I mean, it's mean, it's body shaming, but it's pretty cute. I'm not into body shaming, but when people are being pigs, look above. Where did I miss? What did I miss? I'm wondering if there's something that YouTube isn't letting you put there. If you want to screenshot it and text it to me the way you did the other day, that was wild. That thing about getting your husband into the car when he couldn't breathe. Like, YouTube probably saw that as like a kidnapping, unaliving thing, right? They didn't know what it was, and so they wouldn't let you put it in the chat when you were just talking about your husband's medical emergency. So yeah, I mean, I've been scanning them. I don't think there's any that I missed. Did you text it? I have my thing on, so I felt a little thing on my wrist. Yes, you did text it. Yeah, it's not letting you print that. It's not letting you print it. It literally goes from the one that says, I know MTG is a major biatch, but I kind of feel sorry for her. And then your next, that's at 9:06. And then at 9:09, it says, look above. That is hilarious. Try it again. That is so crazy. Let's see if I type it in. I'm going to try to type it in. But I want to do it on my phone instead of my, let's see if I can. I don't know if I'm having trouble getting into the live just because I'm not doing it right. sorry. So loud. Skip that. And did you try typing it in again too, Annabise? But yeah, my phone has been, like I said, it needs to get wiped or something. It needs to get simplified. Like it's not even, there it goes, live chat. Bad. Here, I'm gonna do it voice to text. Built, bleach, blonde, butch body. BUILT. Bad built. Bleach blonde. Stop. Bad. Okay, you can stop with the it's like totally acting up everything I say. Okay, so I put it in there. The bad built, bleach, blonde, butch body. We'll see if it lets mine show up, and we'll see what handle it has. I don't think it's going to let it show up. It did show up. What showed up? Can you see mine? Because it's not showing on my screen that I put that in the chat. The bad built, bleach, blonde, butch body. This is just weird. OMG, I think I'm going to need therapy from YouTube messing with my brain. I can't see yours, but can you see yours? Because I don't see yours either. I don't see either of them. I did it again. Did it? Oh, did it show up? Did it show up? No. That's wild. It's funny that chat is programmed to not allow that. Like, that kind of micromanaging is the kind of thing that Mr. Piggy is all about. Like, that's not a normal thing to. I don't think that's just AI. I think that's Mr. Piggy. But now that he's on the outs with her, maybe he'll start allowing it to be in people's chat. You can see yours. That is so weird. Yeah, none of them have shown up on my screen here. If I look on my phone, I can only see the one that I did. I don't think I see either of the two that you did. Thank you for trying to help me. Yeah. How freaking weird is this? What kind of world are we living in? It's worse than the Matrix. Okay, let me get on my notes and try to put all my ideas together because my brain is just so loosey-goosey. So Linsay was on The Apprentice. Did you know this? Linsay Halligan was on the Trumpster Fire's Apprentice, Mr. Piggy's Apprentice. I did not know that. And I bet you AI knows it, but let's see. So yeah, they didn't know each other. Again, lies. Like, they tried to act like they met in 2021. Why effing lie? Probably because they were doing illegal business together. Can you see what I said about YouTube? I did see the thing about YouTube be infringing on my free speech. Yes, I see that. Yeah, I've never watched it either. And what season of The Apprentice was Linsay Halligan on? No, I've just read about it. I haven't seen it. Oh, wait, no, it says she wasn't. No, she did not appear on The Apprentice. Okay, well, I'm glad I checked. But again, you can't even trust. So Erica was on a reality show. Was Linsay Halligan on a reality show? Okay, I guess people were making fun of her acting like she was on The Apprentice this past week. But yes, here it says, this is the problem with AI. Here it says Linsay Halligan appeared on a reality show. She was a contestant on Donald Trump's hit reality TV show, The Apprentice. This information came to light when a CNN commentator mocked her as one of the Apprentice girls, a claim Halligan dismissed despite her past participation in the show. Again, we cannot trust AI. It talks out of both sides of its mouth. In addition to The Apprentice, she has appeared as a legal commentator and a self-Trump attorney on various news and political commentary programs. She was also the person in charge of sanitizing and making racist the Smithsonian, allegedly. Various news and political commentary programs which are not considered reality shows. She also competed in the Miss Colorado beauty pageants in 2009 and in 2010. So the fact that they try to pretend that Mr. Piggy met her on his golf course at Mar-a-Lago, that he just saw this beautiful tall woman wearing a suit, and he had to ask her, why is she wearing a suit? What does she do for a living? Come work for me. Why do they make up these stories? What are they hiding? It makes me think that she maybe she was part of the whole like Mar-a-Lago and Pedo Island thing, which would make sense why she's doing crazy stuff for him, because he's demanding it and she's got as much to hide as he does, right? And then Erica Kurt was a reality contestant too on, let's see what show. What reality show was Erica Kirk on? She was once on season 3 of Summer House on Bravo. In a resurfaced TikTok video, Erica can be seen on the show, which aired on Bravo in 2019, being set up on a date with housemate Jordan Veroli. But see, she didn't even know Charlie that long. Allegedly, they only met in 2021. But then that story where she says she saw him in the Snake of the Line in Israel, I think that was like 2019 or something. When did Erica Kirk see Charlie Kirk in line at the airport in Israel with her mom? With her mom. And see, this could be another story too. In the most unexpected place, the snake line at the airport in Israel. Oh my goodness, the snake line. I love it. That's on Instagram. That is too funny. But what year did she try to say that was I'll have to look more into that. Let's see what this one says on Reddit. No, that's not going to tell me anything, I don't think. What about the Facebook post? I don't like to go to Facebook. I'm just trying to figure out what year she said that happened in. Maybe I can listen to that ridiculous thing when here we can listen to it together. This is it. This is the ridiculous thing.
That exact chair. That person that's sitting right next to you is meant to sit right next to you. I'm not telling you how to figure out why. But just know that nothing is by mistake. Nothing. I will never forget the time I was in Israel with my husband. That was the second time, but the first time with my mother on a pilgrimage. And I was standing in the ticket line. And I remember looking behind me. And in the snake of the ticket line was a guy who looked very familiar. I had no idea who he was. And I told my mom, this guy looks so familiar. And as a typical mother, she said, go and say hi. No. We were late for our flight, and I'm not going to come off like a crazy person that's just weird. That ended up being Charlie. Nothing is by coincidence. Now, did we know that? No, not until we were like 3 months into our relationship and looking at timestamps, seeing that both of us were in Israel at the same time. But nothing is by coincidence when God is within you, okay? So you guys go blaze a trail, okay? God bless you all.
So, yeah, we still don't know what year it was, but now I don't even remember why I thought it was important to figure that out. Again, just the lies of how these people met. You know, like Melania says that she met Mr. Piggy at the Kit Kat Club because she doesn't want people to know that possibly not only did she date Einstein, but he sold her to Mr. Piggy. Because that's what would happen with Einstein's girls when they age out. They either become full-time recruiters or they get sold to billionaires to be their little wives. And I used to joke about her being a mail order bride or a spy, but I honestly think she's both. And I think sometimes the stuff is just so in our face that we can't see the forest through the trees. I don't like Facebook either. We can't trust anything. CNN is going the way of faux news. Yes. Who says that? The snake of the line. Yeah, it is so weird. And when I first saw it, I thought it was just me that was like, got the creeps from saying that, because it was like she was trying to put a snake in the story. Anna Bees, remember? Is that like an MK Ultra thing? Because remember MC Ultra, how she always had a freaking animal in every story, like the mouse in the grocery store? Maybe that's an MC Ultra thing, to always put some type of animal in your story to get people's attention, because it kind of anchors the story. Then the whole story like centers around whatever animal. Is that like a CULT thing? I mean, I'm seriously asking. I don't know. Just like I don't know if when she says snake of the line, and she's not doing any like gesturing with her hands, but she picks her hand up to do the snake of the line. And when I'm when I've seen her speak, it seems like when she uses her hands like that, that she's trying to hypnotize. And I think, again, it's like you sound like the nut when you're trying to make sense of all the gaslighting. But when Mr. Piggy pulls out his accordion hands and starts doing that, I think he's trying to hypnotize in a sense. He's definitely trying to own the space and dominate. He's trying to get everyone to focus on him. And it's crazy. Those accordion hands are the worst. And I love that it's his niece, Mary, that calls them the accordion hands. And she says it's one of his tells, that as soon as he pulls out the accordion hands, she says that's when you know he's lying. But I was watching a Mary Trump channel tonight, and she had a guest doing the show for her. I think I wrote his name down because he seemed really cool. Maybe I didn't write his name down. I'll have to check it out. But he was recounting a story that I guess Mary Trump recounts often. And so they're doing a contest. Anybody who's interested in sending artwork in to the Mary Trump show, I'll put a link in the description to the video that I'm talking about that has all the information in it. But she's got this gem of a family story, a traumatic family incident that happened at the Thanksgiving table when Mr. Piggy was yet again ruining another family holiday, and her dad could not take it anymore, and he flipped a bowl of mashed potatoes upside down and put it on Mr. Piggy's head. Is that the best use of mashed potatoes that you've ever heard, Annabise? So now they're doing a competition, or just for fun, for people to send in whatever type of art they want. So it could be like a song, it could be a video skit, it could be a painting, it could be a poem, anything. It could be a sculpture of the mashed potato brain. And it is perfect because of the mashed potato brain that he's been exhibiting, huh? Isn't that hilarious? I know. I was so happy that I heard that story tonight, right in time for Thanksgiving. That's why I wanted to share it here. She does not seem like a Catholic. She seems more like a Mormon. Yeah. So the thing with that Regis University is that it's so tied in with the Christian nationalists and the Heritage Foundation and the Project 2025. I think technically it's considered a Catholic school, Jesuit. And then the high schools that both her and Linsay Halligan went to were Catholic high schools. So I just think it's really weird that they're the exact same age. They went to school together. They were studying the same types of political science, politics stuff at a relatively small school for 2 years. And then they both enrolled and competed in the Miss Colorado in 2009 together. So they won for the 2010 pageant, but the competition happens at the end of 2009, just to try to clarify, because it sounds like the way they talk about it sounds like they won in 2010, but they won the 2010 title, which means that the competition would have been at the end of 2009, which also, so there's just no way that they didn't know each other back then, 15, 16, 17 years ago. 16 years ago ish. Also, with Erica being a contestant in the 2007 Miss Teen pageant, that might mean that she competed in that in 2006. And I can't remember if I sent this to you yet or not, Annabise, but
You're
there's
sitting in that.
the other big piece of evidence about her being in a teen pageant for real is that they had a whole page in her yearbook all about it. And so there's no way that they could do, you know, the whole like time warp thing to get that page in the yearbook with the pageant ribbon and everything. I thought I had a screenshot of it handy. It might just be on my laptop, not on my phone. But I can pull it up. If I can't find it, I can just Google it. Oh no, here it is. Got it. So this, if you can see, is, and I'll put up a community post with this. So you see in the middle there, that's Erica, and she's got her Miss Arizona ribbon across her chest. And this is high school. So she was competing in high school. She graduated high school in 07. So actually that means that she did compete in 06. So because it would have been the school year of 06, 07 in the fall for the coming year. And what does it say here? It says, Erica, you make a difference in every life you touch. You are the true meaning behind an everyday hero. Let my love give you roots to help you find your wings. We are so proud of you and love you so much. And it's a page that her family paid to put in here. And this is proof that she was competing in the pageant in not 2007, but she was competing for the 2007 Miss Teen Arizona at the end of 2006. And again, why is that important? Because they try to hide it. That's why it's important. So pre-2004, this is someone's post. I'll put a link to this in the description. Pre-2004 existence, a complete void. And the channel here is called Salwa Samra, SALWASAMRA. And you know, I had seen that page. I had seen the yearbook page, but I hadn't like solidified the idea around it that right there is proof that she was in that teen pageant that they try to pretend she was not in. Wow, Marjorie Taylor Greene just announced that she's resigning from office in January, you guys. Suddenly announced her intention to resign. I'm sure she got her life threatened a bunch more. Remember when she put up that post a couple weeks ago about how she wasn't suicidal? But that doesn't mean you can't get in a car accident, Karen Silkwood, right? And one of her teachers talked about it on camera. Oh, and then I found a wonderful post. I think I already put this in my community tab. A post of somebody who the day after, let me see if I can pull it up. The day after Charlie was assassinated, this nice woman made this nice post on Instagram that basically outed Erica for being in a teen pageant. And I will read the post to you if I can find it here real quick. Yes, here it is. And this is Sue Orskok, SUEORSKOK, RISCHAK. And this is in my community tab, and I'll just read it. It's from September 11th of this year. I was stunned to discover that Charlie Kirk's gorgeous wife was a customer and friend to me and my husband, Larry. I first met Erica when she was competing for Miss Teen Arizona. She had to wear a pair of clear plastic pumps that were too wide for her. She was with her mom, Lo. I did my best to make the shoes fit without distracting from their appearance. She then became a contestant in the Miss Arizona pageant. So this is the problem with trying to lie and scrub. And this is the problem that our government is going to be in as they're lying and scrubbing and destroying anything from the Trumpstein files, because you're going to have things like this that just pop up out of nowhere. And so not only does she have this post, but she's got evidence. She's got a picture of herself with the Miss Teen. And can you see it? Let's see. I'm trying to make it more visible. And there. So the woman has a picture of herself in her Instagram post with the gorgeous teenager when she was getting the plastic shoes when she was competing for Miss Arizona Teen. Effing liars. You know how growing up, you're always told that omitting information is the same thing as lying. And when you're a kid, you're like, I don't understand how. Omitting is just omitting. But that's how. I don't like that they went to Catholic school. I guess you don't have to be a Catholic to go to their school. Well, and sometimes the people just hide in their religion. You know, I've been very dedicated to a couple of churches in my adult life. I also growing up, but there was a church that I went to in Washington State, and I became very good friends with one of the retired pastors because he was in the same field that I was in. We were both counselors, and we were both from Ohio. And he told me that it's the worst people are the ones that go to church the most because they know they're bad and they're trying to absolve themselves. And I thought that was wild. He was like, in my 30-year career, I found that it was the most rancid people were the ones that were the most dedicated because they were trying to absolve themselves of their own demons. And it makes perfect sense. And they try to use it as a justification. Well, like, of course I'm a good person. I go to church all the time. And the Lord forgives. So I can do all kinds of horrible shit all the time. And I go to church and I'm forgiven. So, and people weaponize the church. I mean, going to church doesn't make somebody spiritual or compassionate, right? Yeah, they had to know each other. And one of her teachers talked about it on camera. Yes, I see it. Wow. I hope she doesn't get Epstein. I can't believe I'm saying that. I know. Well, and the thing is, you know, she's the mother of 3, and I don't know if she has grandkids yet, but I mean, they can mess with you, you know. They're terrorists. That's what they do. They terrorize. That's the article. I made the teacher thing up. LOL. Oh, that's all right. Our brains do that sometimes, right? But yeah, people that went to school with them, other people that competed in the 2009 Miss Colorado. Like, how many other students were there from Regis University that were in that competition for Miss Colorado in 2009? Probably zero. But not only were they both students, they were both the exact same age, and they both started at the same time. They both finished high school in 07. They both started college in 07. And then Erica transferred to a school in Arizona for fall of 09. But she still did the competition there in 09. So, I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of it. And you know, maybe she was like a state resident because she'd lived there for college for a couple of years. And so you just have to do the pageant in whatever state you're a resident in. And so maybe she was commuting from Arizona to do the pageant in Colorado because she hadn't been living in Arizona, so she couldn't do it there. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just shooting from the hip. Stripper shoes, LOL. Oh, really? Are they? I did not know. Are they like clear plastic shoes? Because that would be really creepy if that makes a stripper shoe, because that's also like little kids, you know, little girls, they do like the clear plastic princess shoes. It's like they're training them to be strippers. Oh, I got to quit thinking so much. It hurts. Not always. My mom was a really good person and devout Catholic. I was going to make a joke that maybe she had a pile of bodies under the stairs in the basement, but you just didn't know. But I don't want to be offensive. Totally not meaning any offense. You know, it's like that movie, So I Married an Axe Murderer. Sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes you just don't know. So I do have a few more notes. So I've talked about Trump derangement syndrome, but I think we need to talk more about the Trump derangement fatigue syndrome, you know, kind of like chronic fatigue syndrome. So Linsay Halligan lied about how she met Trump. I mean, Mr. Piggy, in my opinion, because she would have met him when she did The Apprentice. Maybe. I mean, there's always the possibility. That's, again, the thing about the gaslighting. There's always a possibility that she was on The Apprentice, but she didn't meet him, right? I mean, he's the star, so he's not going to meet every single contestant, but he's going to meet the hot, pretty ones that he wants to, you know, play hide the salami with, right? Sorry, should have done a trigger warning. And then Mr. Piggy calls Einstein a disgusting pervert. It's like, dude, takes one to know one. It's funny because the guy that you call a disgusting pervert says that you're the worst person he's ever known to walk on the planet. So, I don't know. But yeah, I want to know what Trump knew about Jamal Khashoggi getting. I just heard this on Jim Acosta's show right before I came on, and trigger warning. I did not know this. I thought that he was rugged and then unalived and then bone sawed. He was not. Trigger warning. It's hard to say it. He was rugged so that he was paralyzed, and then he was bone sawed while he was alive, while he was fully aware of what was going on. And our country's intelligence has definitively said that it was MBS that put the hit on him. And then when you got Donnie, Mr. Piggy, playing footsies, do you see the way he slapped at him? Like, he was like blushing. Like, he was like a little kid. He was like, oh, shucks, smiling. It was like, get a room already, dude. That was so weird. And then it was a minute later that he started ripping Mary Bruce a new one, telling her that she was a horrible reporter. He was threatening the licensure of ABC, and he just kept going. She was a horrible person, and he just kept going and going as he's playing effing footsies with a man who ordered Jamal Khashoggi to be bone sawed while he was still alive. And then they dissolved him in acid. They did all this while his fiance was out in the car waiting for him at the, I think it was the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey. They invited him to come in, and they offered to help expedite his marriage license. And that was 7 years ago. That I think it was October 21st, but it was 2018. It was October 2018. Let me look again. I know I've looked it up a bunch of times. You're
sick.
One sec. Come on, phone. Stop being difficult. Jamal Khashoggi. Jamal Khashoggi. It was October 2nd. So it was 11 days before his birthday. October 2nd, 2018. So I had never put that into the context of that being about 10 months before Jeffrey was Epstein in jail on August 10th of 2019. Because in some of these emails that have been revealed, it seems as though Steve Bannon and Little E were communicating about plotting Jamal Khashoggi's execution. So Steve Bannon worked for Mr. Piggy. You know, Mr. Piggy offered Einstein a position in the cabinet. And Jeffrey had said he was scared to death of Donnie. He was scared of ever crossing him. He had assumed that it was Mr. Piggy that had put the heat on him with law enforcement in West Palm Beach back in the early 2010s or the mid 2010s when he got the sweetheart deal. And it would be so ironic if Donnie had a lot to do with that prosecution, even though it was like a powder puff prosecution. It's like that was almost 20 years ago, and it's still haunting Mr. Piggy. Karma's a bitch, man, and she's got your number. Let me drink a little water and see what you're saying. For sure, he would have gone out of his way to meet her. It's okay. She was mean to us sometimes, but she was a very good person. Oh, I'm sorry, Anna Bees, about your mama. But, right. I mean, the Don or Mr. Piggy, he would not introduce himself to every hot chick at his Mar-a-Lago, at his resort, you know. He owns the place. He is going to make everybody bow down to the king. My son's family's cat is trying to nurse my clothes on my bed. Oh, how cute is that? These MFs are all entangled. Exactly, Annabise. Right, because the Jamal Khashoggi's dad owned the yacht that Mr. Piggy, they owned the same yacht. And now it's owned by some Arab prince. Did Donnie call it Princess Tiffany? Trump's yacht that was owned by Khashoggi. And it was Khashoggi's uncle, not dad. So the yacht owned by Saudi arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi and later by Donald Trump is the Trump Princess, now known as the Kingdom 5KR. Khashoggi commissioned the 282-foot super yacht, which was built in 1980. Trump purchased the yacht from the Sultan of Brunei in 88 and renamed it the Trump Princess before selling it in 91. The yacht was originally named Nabila for Aden Khashoggi's daughter. Trump bought the yacht in 88 for $29 million, renamed it Trump Princess, extensively refitted it with amenities like a pool, a disco, and a hospital. And then he sold it in 91 for a loss to Saudi Prince Al-Waleed bin Talal, T-A-L-A-L. Current name, the yacht was renamed Kingdom 5KR by its new owner and is still in use today. I hope they didn't name it after Kylie Rodney. Of course, I'm kidding, but why 5KR? I'm sure it's just a coincidence, right, Annabise? Pull me out of the rabbit hole. I'm not going in. I'm not. Okay, so let me look at my notes and then wrap up. We've been on for 90 minutes, and I love you, dear. It's so nice to hang out with you on a Friday night. Are you at work now? If you want to say, you don't need to answer. My husband's at work. He's on duty. I got to stay out of trouble so he doesn't come and arrest me. Let's see. We got a dog pushing on the door. So Mr. Piggy said that he is such a good person that he left his huge success behind so that he could focus on America. I think that's a lie. I think that he had maybe some success, but mostly failures, and then disguised them as success, and then focused on America because of all the freaking money. The government's got all the freaking money. It's those coffers that he's been after this whole time. And now he's trolling for cash from his MAGA base. He sent out a tweet or something just asking for like $25 donations to get through the holidays type of thing. It is freaking whack. He's so insane. So somebody, probably Mary Trump, was describing him as being three things, but this goes for all narcissists, not just him. They have three channels. They have rage, charm, and self-pity. I thought that was pretty brilliant. I had to write that down. All right. I'm going to wrap her up since I just feel like my brain has been, I went for a nice long walk today. That's what it is. That's what happens. But I'm glad I did. It was a beautiful day. It was like kind of raining, but it hardly rained on me at all. I got really lucky. I think I walked for like 2 hours. Yeah. All right. I'm going to sign off, my dear. Love and light. Thanks a million for being here. And don't forget to drink your water, eat your protein, fruits and veggies, get some sunshine, and exercise, fresh air. So, that's why I was out there walking in the fresh air. And even though it was dreary, you're still getting light from the sun, which is necessary. It's like nourishment, not just the vitamin D from the sun, but also the just what it does to your neurons or your melatonin. You probably know more about it than me, Annabise. Yes. Good night, my dear. All right. You hear the dogs banging down the door. So yeah, I only dispense the advice at the end of each video because I need to remind myself. So I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. I'm just trying to make good suggestions that are good for all of us. And so little Coco has been so quiet back here in the corner. Coco, you'd think she was not even alive if I didn't ask her to move. And then we got the little crazy ones in the hallway. She loves getting a break from them. So I'll open the door and let the ruckus begin. Have a great night. Hopefully I'll be able to come on tomorrow and the next day, but I can't promise. I will do my best because I need it. It's my therapy. Thanks again, Anna.